After the central government presented its budget in February, it is now the Karnataka government's turn. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa will present his 8th budget on March 8th. The state's economy had been struggling with the slowdown even before the pandemic made it worse last year. Although Yediyurappa has promised that the upcoming budget will be a good one, all signs are that it would be a major challenge to even reach the modest target set by the Chief Minister. Before we go into the details of the state's financial health, let's take a quick look at how key revenue generation departments performed last year. As of January 2021, motor vehicle tax generation was down 24% below the target set in the budget. Stamps and registration was down 15%. Commercial tax collection was down 11%. Remember, this was a year hit by the pandemic. The only department to meet its target was the excise department, largely due to the 17% increase in excise taxes last year. So where is the state government going to get its revenue from this year? One of the major sources of revenue for the state are the devolution grants. These are grants that all states receive from centre. The state share of devolution funds has taken a beating since the implementation of the 15th Finance Commission last year. The Finance Commission reduced Karnataka's share in devolution grants. The state is also among the biggest losers in terms of funds received compared to other states. The other problem that Karnataka is grappling with is loan servicing. Loan servicing in simple terms means the funds required to repay existing loans and the interest on these loans. Allocation under this head will be higher this year as the state was forced to borrow more due to the falling revenues of the government. Karnataka's outstanding debt was around 3.1 lakh crore rupees, which has increased by 80,000 crore in 2021. This is not a good situation to be in. Decreasing revenue and increasing debt. What repercussions does this have? For one, the government cannot introduce new schemes this year. And two, older welfare schemes might see reduced funding in order to pay salaries, pensions and other committed expenditure of the government. Faced with these realities, Finance Department officials have projected a dip in budget size by around 10%. In last year's budget, Yediyurappa laid bare the dire economic situation of Karnataka. He chose to tax citizens by hiking fuel and liquor prices while pointing fingers at the Modi administration for reducing Karnataka's share of central taxes. The situation this year is not very different. Yediyurappa is under pressure to provide relief for citizens who are battered by the pandemic and rising fuel prices. He'll also have to address his constituency of farmers to keep up his pro-farmer image. There is pressure on the CM to not only kickstart but also complete the development works, especially irrigation projects that has taken a beating during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yediyurappa has already sounded an alert that the COVID-induced stress is likely to continue. So what can we expect this year? Everything we have seen so far points to the obvious. No new projects. All departments are under direction to keep their budget demands to a minimum considering the financial situation. While we all want a reduction in excise duty of fuel, this looks unlikely. Meanwhile, it wouldn't be a surprise if the CM announces some big ticket projects considering the continued uncertainty of his tenure. If not, it will be a budget of fiscal prudence as the government faces a hard time to limit liabilities and borrowings while steering the state economy towards growth.